If you remember right, I took all those eggs out from underneath the coochie, and they're the broody hens. And this is what I have left. And I checked them last night, and really, I'm gonna let them sit another week and check them again. A couple of these over here look like they might be rotten, but I'm not sure. There could be a couple good ones. I did have one hatch out. So I had one little coochie hatch out, and he is right there. That's the coochie right there. These other ones there's 3 guineas and 3 brahmas. Now they're light brahmas. There's 3 colors of brahmas. There's the light, the buff, and the dark. And these are the light. Yeah. This one right here, I can get you. This one right here. This one right here is the coochie. That's the coochie. And those other 3 in there are the striped ones with the striped heads. Those are guineas. And the brahmas are the ones over here in the far corner. Now, brahmas were bred with a Chinese chicken and a chicken from Bangladesh. And they started them, they sent 9 of them to Queen Victoria, because these chickens, they get about 30 inches high, and they can get up to about 13 pounds, the roosters anyway. These are pullets, so those 3 are girls. But they sent some to Queen Victoria, 9 of them. And the chickens at the time that they had them in the 1920s, they weren't quite into the poultry book yet. They weren't noted as a breed. And when they sent them to Queen Victoria, that's when they became in the book. In the late 30s, the brahmas numbers started decline, so they put them kind of like on an endangered species list, but they weren't really in, they didn't have that kind of, they had that, but the chickens weren't really called endangered, but numbers had dropped. So they wanted people to start putting them in their farms again, into their home. Now during the 20s, they allowed people to raise chickens in their backyards. Some areas allowed them to raise goats so they could have milk. This was during the Depression, when there was, the lack of food. And that's probably going to happen again. They were allowing them to have goats in the backyard for milk, and they also used some of the goats for meat. They had the chickens so that they could have eggs, and chickens were also good for meat. And then one guinea, he keeps kicking the sawdust out from underneath him, and it's slick, so he keeps... Come on, little guy. Get your feet up underneath you. There you go. Yeah, much better. But yeah, we had, and actually, Coochins, Buff Orpingtons, Jersey Giants are 3 of the large meat birds meat and egg bird. This little guy here is constantly, for some reason, I don't understand. Okay. This one here, he just does not seem to get his legs underneath him. The other ones seem to be okay. This is a guinea here, and he's having trouble in this thing here because of the sawdust. He's not keeping it underneath his feet for some reason. Once he gets it underneath his feet, he's okay. But yeah. But the Jersey Giants are the #1 largest chicken breed. And then the second one is your Brahmas, and then the Coochins and the Buff Orpingtons. Brahmas like cold weather. They're a cold weather bird, so they really don't do well, like in Arizona and Texas and places where the weather is extremely hot. They don't do well. And they actually do better in the fall for laying. They'll lay better in the fall than they will in the summer. They kind of lack in laying in the summertime. So I'm going to have to put, I think, some more sawdust in here to keep that guy from having such a hard time. He seems to be really struggling. And they keep getting sawdust in their water. And see, now as soon as he gets the sawdust underneath him, he's okay. So, not really anything wrong with him, he just can't seem to keep the sawdust up underneath his legs. Make it a little deeper, I think, in here. I get the guineas because I like guineas. They're an awesome bird. They're from Africa, like I've said once before. And they kill snakes, mice, rats. They're good for all kinds of insects. Now, I have the ducks too, and ducks are good for like flies. They eat a lot of flies. The guineas eat all kinds of insects and stuff. They let you know when there's a stranger in the yard. They start making their noise. You can become pretty noisy. Some people don't like them because they're noise. I love them. I like them because of their noise. I just like listening to them. I guess I'm crazy in that kind of aspect. But the Coochins are, they're right behind the Jersey Giants and the Brahmas in size, in meat size. And you can see that, now that Coochin, he is younger. He was just hatched out yesterday, but you can see that he's almost the same size as these Brahmas, and I'm pretty sure they're probably at least a week or so old, at least. I mean, I got them at the feed store, so they've got to be at least a week old. They get, I believe they said they get them like every Thursday, I think they said. So yeah. And your Brahmas aren't big, heavy layers. They lay about 180 to 200 eggs a year. Now the Coochins, I've noticed, they have laid quite a bit all summer and most of the winter. So they lay probably about 280, 300 eggs a year. So, but they are, the Coochins, the reason I'm keeping the Coochins around is because they do become very broody very fast. They say that the Brahmas also will be broody, and they will are really good mothers. And I haven't had the Brahmas before. The ones I've had are Rhode Island Reds, New Hampshire Reds, Barred Rocks. We had some Phoenix, which are actually just mainly a feather bird. They're a game bird, and they're more for feathers. And we've had the Red Rangers and the Cornish Cross. Now, I don't care for the Cornish Cross. They get too fat too quick, and there's just something about them I didn't care for them. They're ready for butcher within 6 to 8 weeks. The Red Rangers, they actually didn't get big enough till they were almost a year old. So with Red Rangers, they take a little longer to get weight. Anyway, please subscribe, push the bell, so you get notified every time I do a video, and do a like, ask questions, make comments, ask questions. So, have a great day.